thank you very much for your attendance today. This is our first Asia webinar for Rsid. Our title today is Contactless Biometrics in the Era of COVID-19. We have prepared some interesting presentation for you. And also at the end of this presentation, we have a live demo for our new product. Okay. Once again, thank you very much for your participation. Please feel free to stop me at any point of the presentation, or you can use the chat function of this GoToMeeting if you want to raise any question, or if you want to say anything, or if you want me to touch on any subjects that's interest of you. This webinar will be recorded and will be made available to you, also to those that have registered that have not attended today, or if you have to leave halfway of this presentation. Okay. At this point, we have around 20 people in the room. I will start now with our agenda. Okay. With me today, I also have our colleague from the USA, our Vice President, Mr. Muhammad Murad, our internal sales guy, Mr. Jacob Varga. I got also two colleagues from our Korea office, Mr. Stephen Yon, and also Mr. Kim. Okay. Our webinar today is we will go through, of course, our introduction of the situation. We'll have a look at what is the COVID-19 paradigm shift and why contactless biometrics in the era of COVID-19. I will present you a little bit on our Rsid company. Also, we talk about the biometric technologies and the iris recognition. Then we will have our Rsid product and our solutions. And the best part, later we'll show you our reference and case study. In the second part of the webinar today, we'll have a demo of our new product called IT100 or Iris Time. Okay, we will do a live demo from our Korea office, supported by Mr. Stephen Yon. And at the end of it, we will have our Q&A session. This whole webinar is expected to last around 90 minutes. And as I mentioned, we will have it recorded if you miss any part of it, or anybody that have not able to attend at this point. Okay. Thank you again for everybody to come. We have quite a number of people today. I'm very honored to present to you our first Asia webinar. Okay. First of all, COVID-19 paradigm shift. If you guys cannot hear me clearly, please let me know. If anything, you can use the chat function, or you can just unmute and ask me. First of all, COVID-19 paradigm shift. As you all know, today all users due to COVID-19 are very concerned about hygiene. So touchless and contactless is a new keyword today. Okay, so this one is a huge paradigm shift, and it is a sudden shift, but we think that it will last for a long time, even after the so-called COVID vaccine will be available, hopefully as soon as possible. But we think the effect of this shift is going to be there. And for biometric industry, this is affected greatly As you all know, currently most of the biometric technology is using a fingerprint or some kind of a touch solution, like handprints. And due of, like I said, touchless or contactless, a new keyword, everybody now want a contactless solution. So today, the contactless solutions become the new king of the industry. For us in the industry, we are taken by surprise, and everybody is scrambling to offer a solution. We call this as a forced evolution and not the normal organic transition. So this is something that we have to do quickly, and we are forced to find a solution for a situation that we have not anticipated. So on the market side, we noticed that market have reacted quickly, and most of the time without much information. So it has resulted in a lot of uninformed decision making, and also adoption of wrong kind of technology, especially biometric technology, to handle the COVID-19 paradigm shift. So we think that the customer must be informed of the choices and solution that will offer them the best return on investment. So this is why we at the Rsid have decided to held this seminar for our partners and our potential customers. Okay, why contactless biometrics in the era of COVID-19? Okay, so as you know, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed almost everything about our life, and of course, in the adoption of biometrics, it changes a lot of things. So we have around, we summarize it as 4 ways that COVID-19 actually influence the adoption of biometric technology. Number one, identity will become more important. So COVID-19 has dramatically speed up the process of the digital identification. Secondly, security will become even more important. As you know that people now, less people are going to office and more people are working remotely, and this will need some kind of another layer of identification, and this is where biometric also can play a lot of roles. There's also a big demand for contactless biometric, and of course, most of all, people are afraid of contagion from contact, and iris and facial recognition or other form of contactless biometrics has become something that will be for the future and will replace the contact technologies. And one of the other most important influence of COVID-19 that it will make that people realize about their privacy, because everything now is online and you have to put a lot of information online, and now digital identities is something as a norm, and they need their digital identity. So it is also important that people are educated about the privacy issues and develop best practice for handling and storage of digital identity data. Okay. Impact of COVID-19 to biometric industry and the response from the industry. The first impact, as you can see today, is the existence of webinar like this, because COVID-19 does not allow me to go and see you guys as we expected before, as somebody that always travel between all these countries of my responsibilities. COVID-19 really impact my lifestyle and my work habits and all. So I think it's very obvious for all you guys also. So in terms of the biometric industry, first of all the contact-based technology is suspended. I think people are stopping using any kind of fingerprints or handprints biometric solution, and also including pins where you have to touch something. Okay, and so the market have chanced the contact-based technology for now, and of course some of the sales has sharply declined, and most of the existing or incoming access control system or time maintenance solution has downgraded just to use the RFID or a bit new things with QR code, you know, because they don't want to touch anything. And so at this point, contactless biometric quickly replaced this contact solution, and demand for it has shot up exponentially. Okay. In terms of the industry response, okay, first of all, we know that those who only have contact-based solution are losing out because they cannot offer anything new, and people are not buying a contact-based solution. So contactless solution has been heavily promoted. We can categorize this contactless solution to two different categories. We call it high security solution, which are using iris recognition and contactless fingerprint due to the nature of the biometric itself. And then we have the lower security solution with facial recognition and vein recognition. Okay. In addition to that, we noticed that the temperature screening solution now is something very what you call it. This is a hot topic actually, because everybody is asking for it, but we still have a lot of problems with the accuracies, and we also can see that there's issues with the long-term usability of this temperature screening, whether you really need it because of due to the nature of the COVID-19 infections and all this, that you can infect people even if you are not having a high temperature or if you're not sick. Okay, and the viability of putting these sensors into the devices. Okay. Alternatively, also you can see today there's a lot of solution, like I said, QR codes, and of course RFID is still greatly in use to counter the touch solution. I will just go quickly on iris recognition solution. Maybe some of you are very familiar already with the iris recognition, but I believe some probably just heard about iris or have not really see a real iris recognition solution in operation. So I just go through this one for the sake of those people that have not really familiar themselves with iris recognition. First of all, this is very important. What is iris recognition? Iris is not the retina. As you can see that iris is, may I make it simple, this is the color of your eyes. What makes the color of your eyes is actually your iris. Okay, so it's the donut shape of the eye. Okay, in the middle you got your pupil, you know. It is not the same as a retina, because retina is at the back of your eye, so the technology is totally different. Okay, and we don't need to what you call go into the eyes to capture the iris, because it's just like taking a photo with a normal digital camera. You know, we're just using a different wavelength of the light. Okay, they're using near infrared. Anyway, what is most important is that iris have a lot of data inside it. Okay, so this richness of the data points in iris, okay, that makes it very accurate solutions. You know, if you even compare it to fingerprint, of course, they are even much better than face or hand prints. Okay. The only other technology that have more what you call it richer data than iris is of course DNA. Okay, so what you do is actually you take the image of the human iris using infrared image. Okay, and then you take that portion with all the patterns, and you process it. Okay, I don't want to talk about how the process and all these things, but what is the most important part here is that due to the huge number of data points in iris, okay, uh, iris recognition can also be used even if you don't capture the full iris. So, for example, if you can see the photo up there, you know, even it's a half closed eye, it can be successfully recognized due to the sheer number of data points in an iris. Okay, so this makes it very reliable and accurate solution, and also can make it very fast in terms of the matching response. Okay. Okay, Raymond, I saw your question with the iris of human change over time. Okay, this is part of the answer. Okay, first of the advantage of iris technology. Iris pattern today has been determined that it does not change through life. Okay, after 12 months of age, okay, so far we have tested, there's no changes in the patterns. Of course, the technology is not that old, so you can check throughout a full lifetime of a person. Okay, but continuous studies that we have done, okay, show there's no changes of this, and there are countless research on it already. So, and also because the iris pattern is unique between left and right eyes or iris difference, so it can be used independently. Okay. And also because, like I said, of the sheer number of the data points, okay, this is the most accurate biometric technology, okay, for today, other than DNA, okay. And the ease of use of it, okay, you can take a very good quality image of the iris from 1 feet away, okay. But now, even with better technology in the camera, in the capture device, you can even make it further, okay. And we can also capture through glasses or contact lens. So the same questions from Raymond now. The contact lens will have no effect as long as it's a clear contact lens. As I mentioned to you before, the iris is captured using a near infrared wavelength. So what happens is that okay, if you use a contact lens or anything that will block this capture process, okay, so you won't get a good image. It will affect the quality. Okay, so if you have a contact lens with patterns, you know, the patterns will affect the quality of the data, and of course it will block some of the images of the iris. So it will not work. Okay, but in some cases where for example, a colored contact lens, which is a very you know, what you call it, light colored, you know, it still can be used, you know. But anything that will block the good acquisition of the image of the iris, so whether using contact lens or glasses that will block that acquisition, it will not work. But as long as you have very clear, you can use iris using your normal glasses, and also your, even if you, we will show you later, okay, in the demo and in the videos that we have for customers. It work through glasses, goggles, and also face shield. Okay, and like I mentioned also, the iris technology will offer you a very fast response, because there's only very small what you call it, iris templates, and we can do recognition in 10 or millions of database in very fast result. Okay, iris is non-invasive, meaning first of all, our iris recognition technology has been compliant to all the standards that is available today regarding acquisition of iris image. Okay, there are plenty of them, you know, and all the devices are certified for that. And of course, it is non-contact and also non-invasive, so it won't harm you in any way. Okay. There is a question about twins. Okay, like I said, even the iris between your own eye, your two eyes are different. So of course, between twins is different. Okay, like I said, this has been tested. You know, all iris are different. It's like your fingerprints, but it has a lot more data than fingerprints. Okay. This is a question from Ansari for about deceiving the iris. So the last point there, we show you countermeasure. Okay, there are some good fake iris. Okay, if you can see people are using those fake eyes or stone eyes, or people are losing their one of their eyes and everything. They took these prosthetic eyes, and it looks really like an eye. Okay, but our technology has this our own patented countermeasure technology where we can detect this kind of fake iris or fake eyes. Okay, unfortunately, some of our partners, some of our competitors does not employ this kind of technology. So in some iris recognition solution out there, they might not be able to distinguish between a real eye or fake iris. But our own iris ID technology has a countermeasure that will protect you from this kind of fake eyes. Okay. Okay, question from Yahya about the workers' eye pattern actually working. Okay, anything that, for example, okay, injuries to your eyes and everything, it depends on what is affecting your eyes, whether your iris or has been affected or not. It's the same like this is a measurement of whatever the data point is there. Okay, so if the data point is damaged enough, you know, or your eyes are damaged enough, so you cannot collect the proper data from it or the proper image from it. Of course, it will not work. Okay. You can also have problem with people with like disease like cataract that grow on top of your iris. This kind of thing is almost the same like if you have a bad finger and all this. But the likelihood for this to happen in a general population is much less compared to injuries to your hands or your face and all this. Okay. As far as we know, there's no changes in your iris, even if you are taking drugs, any kind of medication, so it will stay the same. It will give you the same result. Like I said, anything that impair the acquisition of the data, like you have a scar or anything that impair the iris, it probably will affect it. Okay. From kit pulsing, will you demonstrate to us the result of comparison between counterfeit iris and explained just? We don't have that presentation today. We don't have it ready. We can, if you have a really strong requirement for that, we can arrange a special presentation for you to show, because we need to bring in the the fake eyes to show the recognition. Then we need to set up the demo setup for that. We don't have it today, I'm sorry, but please send us an email and we can happily answer to your requirement there with even a demonstration for that. Is there any question that I have not answered yet? Okay, I move on to next slide. Okay. So, as you can see here, okay, why iris works where other biometrics don't. Okay. First of all, like you can see there, coverings. Okay, iris works where other biometrics don't because they cannot go to coverings. Okay, if you cover your iris, you cannot see, so you cannot work. Okay, so anything that covers your biometrics, like your face or your hands, hazmat suits, okay, PPE, personal protective equipment, okay, glasses, goggles, face shields, masks, you know, your burqa, your hijab, your turbans, your hats, whatever, you know, your hard hats there. So as long as you don't cover your eyes, okay, and you don't cover it with something that will stop the camera from acquiring your image, okay, iris recognition technology will work, okay. In medical conditions, as you know, there's a lot of situation. First of all, like for fingerprints or handprints, you know, you have issues with bandages or scars or disease or infections on the hands or on the skins, this kind of thing. So it will affect the performance of your contact-based biometrics. Okay, you of course have more issues with handicap or disabilities. You know, unfortunate people with disabilities or with deformities of their hands or even where they cannot move their limbs and this kind of thing, so they can use this type of contact biometrics. Also, like I mentioned, for facial recognition, you have problem with twins and also family members that have very strong resemblance of you. Okay. The other parts where iris will work, where others don't, in area like environments, rough and dirty, you know, with oil or abrasion of the fingerprints, dirt coverings, the fingerprints are embedded in the fringe. Okay. In area where they are very clean, of course, where require a lot of coverings and all this. So this challenging environment, there's no way you can use your other contact biometrics, because you cannot take off your glove or your face coverings. Okay. And of course, this applies also to sites like construction, mines, farms, oil fields, motor mechanic. We will have some examples after this. Iris recognition versus other contactless biometrics. This is very important for you guys to understand. Okay, why some other form of contactless biometrics is not suitable in COVID-19 area. Okay, I'm not saying that they are not suitable in all areas, but in some areas, because like I mentioned previously, when you combine all these requirements, you need to find the best solution that will give you the best return on your investment. Okay. For example, in the face recognition technology, okay, of course, first of all, it's less accuracy. Okay. This is well known in the industry and in the market. Okay. Even recently, there's studies by NIST, National Institute of Technology in the US, where they declared that if you use a mask, okay, even against top algorithms currently in the market pre-COVID-19, okay, algorithms, there's a failure rate. Even the top one is about 5%, which is a huge failure rate. Okay, and some of the even the most common or what we call competent algorithm fail for 20 to 50% of the time for matching people with any kind of mask. Okay, this is studies done by an NIST themselves. Okay, so if you have people telling you out there that their face recognition technology will work in this kind of situation, you know, with not much modification or whatnot, you know, please refer to these studies by NIST. Okay. So anything that cover part of your face and all this will greatly affect face recognition. Even now, people or vendors are applying artificial intelligence for this. It is what we call limited success in this kind of situation. Okay. For contactless fingerprints, I think you're quite familiar with quite a number of solutions in this. Okay. First of all, anything that where you use anything to scan the image of the fingerprint, okay, so if you cover it with any kind of glove, it will fail. Okay, and also some of them will need some kind of movement, which is you need to wave your finger at the device or point at the device. So it will also be affected if you have any kind of space limitation in your installation or any kind of limitation of usage of your hand. Okay, or you are in a kind of, I don't know, if you're using it for detention centers and everything, you have a handcuff or any kind of bondage. Okay, you can use this kind of solution where they require this kind of movement. And like I said before, problem with injuries, which is or damage. You have also for vein. Okay, there are some technologies that based on contact, but there are today some which scan the vein contactless. You also have the same issues like contactless fingerprint, but also you will have a potential situation where you will have to touch anyway the device, okay, to get the good vein scan. So this is where it lacks against iris recognition. We have no issues to deal with this kind of situation. Okay. Let me see, is there any other question on this? Yes, keep pulsing. We have the demo, the clip later for the identification working with face shield. Okay, we'll go to that. Okay, before we go to the all the fun part with the reference and the demos and the videos, okay, I'll just go through quickly with Iris ID corporate overview. Okay, we were established in 2002 in the US as a US directed global business unit. Okay, we are actually a spin-off of LG Iris. Okay, that's why in some of our literature you will find we are formerly LG Iris. We still have that in some of our literatures. Okay. So in December 2010, we changed, we spin it off to become Iris ID. Okay. We are based in New Jersey, USA, and we have our offices in Korea and also our support also in India, and we have a representative in all the regions. For example, myself is in this Southeast Asian and neighboring region. Stephen is in the northern part of Asia, and the rest is covered by our VP Muhammad Murad. We also just recently have been, awarded, recognized as one of the fastest growing small business company in the US by Inc. 5000. Okay, in terms of the what we are doing, okay, we are in the business area of identification, access control, time attendance, and also RFID. Okay, We are involved in large-scale national ID project, mid-scale civil ID project, correction, healthcare, welfare, and mostly in the government and public institution. And access control market, physical access control, passport, visa system, border crossings, all this we have been involved. We'll show you all the reference later. Time and attendance, we did a lot of that, mostly in the US and also in the Middle East. We have a lot of reference in the government, corporate, public institution, okay, and also construction site, fault lines, okay, and of course we supply also some of other related to with RFID solution. So this is our product overview, okay. Basically, we have a few more coming. This is the current existing product that we have. First of all, if you can see on the top there, Icam T10, one of our earliest USB iris camera. This is the Google type. Okay, this is one of the earlier version of iris. I think you can see also from other competitors, but it's one of the earlier version of how you capture iris before move to now more technological version, advanced version. Okay. This is an acquisition device. If you have any question on this, we can go through one by one, but I don't want to go through each of one of them today. But we can definitely send you some literatures on these devices, or you can go to our website. Everything is there on our website. We have Icam Dd100, which is also another acquisition device. Okay. This one also I have a face camera where you can take a photo with it, and you can use other facial recognition technology to work with that image that required. Okay. We have also on this side our multimodal biometric mobile device called Icam Dd100. Okay. We have this is one of our most familiar and most famous device. This is the Icam 7 series, which is a multi-biometric reader. This is for access control market and also maintenance market. Okay, we will show you this in some of our videos, which is being used by some of the top companies or institutions in the world. Okay. Then on this side we have OU7S AK, Icam R100, and OU75. Basically, this is OEM units, okay, which is actually components of what is inside our main units. Okay, this can be used for building up your own devices or your own counters or kiosks. All this. These we can show you later also. Some of the device has been successfully and very successfully implemented in a lot of situations. And then you have also our big Icam Dd100, which is being used. This is a longer distance air capture device, and has been used in many stations for, especially for border control. Okay. And yes, integrated camera, face camera on top of it, and this one can move. You know, the camera have its own motor to move to the correct height. Okay, this is also we show in some of our video demo. Okay, if you have any question to any of these devices, please let us know. Or as I mentioned, please just go to our website, and we have all the information about these devices and use cases. In terms of the distance of iris, okay, the furthest one today using a D1000, we can go about 1 1 meter or sorry 120. I don't have the cm, so it's a bit more than 1 meter. With our later upcoming device also, we can bit do a bit further, but in average is around, let's say around a bit more than 1 meter distance from this D1000. Of course, as you know, it depends on the camera itself, you know. So you have the bigger camera. Okay, for example, in the D1000, actually the OU75 camera. Okay, and the bigger the camera, you know, the longer distance you can see. It's just the matter of the physics of it. Okay. So if you have the smaller device like M300 and all this, they use a smaller camera. You have to move closer. So this one is only like you know, half a feet, or you know, or 1 feet. Okay. Or T10, where you have to use the goggles, so the distance must be just, you know, the goggle distance. Okay. So generally, the bigger device the have you have, the longer distance you can go. Okay. It's just the camera technology. So in the future, we have better and more powerful camera. We can extend the distance. We use the iris recognition. Okay. Of course, we detect both iris at the same time. This dual camera, dual iris recognition, detect both iris at the same time. Iris ID is present throughout the world. Okay, we have installation everywhere around the world. Okay, so and we will get reference everywhere. But of course, our biggest what you call it market now is in the USA and in the Middle East. Okay, and we are expanding rapidly around the world in Africa also, and the Asia part. These are some of our customer base. Okay, we separate, or we divided this into certain categories, like we call asset protection or data center security. Okay, and these are the names that have been employing our technology. We will go to some of them, like Google and Apple in the reference. Okay, but they have been using our technology in one way or another for their asset protection and data center security. Okay, in terms of lab security, like I mentioned before, we have also a nice video on this, where it's being used in the lab. So it's been used in all the big labs like CDC. Okay, and CERN. You know, we have a demo on this also. Sorry, a video on this. In some R&D, big R&D area lab, where they require a security or clean room environment, like Boeing, all this. In infrastructure protection, you know, like we did in Saudi Aramco, you know, in certain cities to protect their assets, things like plants, you know, very important factories or storage areas, this kind of thing, or any kind of infrastructure. In terms of workforce management, okay, we have another good example also with Dangote, which is a big conglomerate in Africa. We also do a lot of, this is actually a much bigger market. We have partners also, like in the US called Paycheck, where they supply to a huge number of organizations, especially for workforce management. We also supply to hotels and club for retails and point of sales solution. Some of it we will show in our reference sites, and also some videos on it. Okay. Kirpal, I will answer your question a bit later about the number of people. But let me just go through this reference site first. We will also get some of our team members to answer for you. Ansari. Yeah, we'll address that question a bit later. Okay. The government market, transportation security. Okay. We will show you also some of the reference we got here. CLEAR program is a huge program now in the US for frequent traveler. You know, we have a very nice example now using IRIS technology at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport using their premium VIP services. Dubai airports, so some other airports. In government and public safety, we supply also to all the big names there. As you can see, Pentagon, Homeland Security, in the US, US Embassy, you know, FEMA, all this. There are many others also that we supply. Police departments or correction departments. In the civil identity market, which is also a huge market, we supply to, we actually built the original database of Aadhaar or UIDAI in India, which is now reaching more than 1 billion records. Okay, we are involved in many other civil identity projects, like in Mexico, National ID, you know, and many others, especially in the Middle East, like Qatar and Jordan. Okay. So this is all the market we covered, and also in between them there are lots of overlaps and all this. So basically we're filling up all this market. There are also some very unique market and requirements. So we move to our reference and use cases. I just quickly go this. Like I mentioned before, we categorize our iris recognition into. This is just for us to categorize for you to see all these different environment where the iris recognition work. As I mentioned, this is all where the customers have been using it according to what their requirement is. The clean environment where you have factors like disease, virus, chemicals, or contaminations, like in labs, hospital, and everything. There are customers that request for this solution. They're using IRIS ID. In a very dirty environment, you know, opposite of the cleaners, they are very dirty, hazardous material, oil, chemical, sharp, abrasive items, dirt, minerals, this kind of thing. You can find this in, you know, mines, construction site, farms, factories, whatever. So these are some of our notable customer. There is at the end there, you can see there is a Turkish fruit farm. There's we show you the reference later. In the challenging, where we need the highest security, you know, we are securing some of the very important sites, you know, in the world, okay, including the Pentagon, NSA, you know. Of course, if you know what how secure is Google data center, Apple data center, you know, all this. So we supply to this environment also, and also the demanding one where you need a lot of movements and a lot of throughput, you know. So we are there. I'm just going to quickly, okay, show you. Okay, look at the video. Okay, this is where you guys have been asking for, you know, IRIS ID in clean environment with all the PPE. Okay, so that device there is from our Icam 7 series. Okay, the video behind that, the top one is in a PPE. Okay, it is the second video down there in the yellow is the guy with a hazmat suit. Okay, so if you can see there, they just use it. Okay, the device in the lower video is older version that we have not sold anymore, but it still works, fine. So no touch at all, and with full hazmat suit or PPE. Okay, there's no other biometric technology that can do this. Okay, this kind of access control. Okay, the one that in the top video is from Japan, where our partner lock system. Thank you, lock system. Okay, for this. If you have any questions, if you can see, like Stephen said, okay, in certain situation, of course, the PP, or sorry, the face shield will have some kind of reflection, depending on the material and everything. But most of the time, it should work. Okay. When we show this video to a lot of other customers, they immediately realize that this is the best solution if they require this kind of situation. Okay, the door in the video is powered. That's why it can open by itself. So the guy doesn't touch anything at all to open the door. Okay. So if you guys are building solution for anything with COVID-19, like we have recently our partner in Bangladesh supply to a COVID-19 lab this solution exactly like this. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so this is in data center security. Google, look at the view. That video is published by Google themselves. Okay, where the lady there went through a tour of the Google data center. That is our device there, our Icam 7. Okay, to go through all this security requirement at the Google data center. It's a nice video of it. You can find online, which is a full video with full narration of it. Okay, so this is just one of the situations where they actually use iris, but they have to use multiple times. In the data center, they have multiple layers of security, and in 2 or 3 of the circumstances that they have to go through the iris scanning. Okay, in Google. Also, we supplied a similar setup in Apple, but unfortunately, Apple does not produce any video or allow us to show anything on it, but it is similar in Google. I really recommend you to go and find online this video about the Google data center. It shows how really impressive is the security over there. And one thing to note is that, okay, our device, before it can be deployed at this kind of data center, and these people are, I think it's by their name itself, they test it themselves. They try to hack the device themselves, okay, to prove that this is really good security on the device, okay. And also there's a reason why I will touch a bit about it later in with our new device, okay. Why we have our own proprietary device. We are not using Android-based technology on the device, because Android itself is not that secure. You can ask Google about it. And these devices, like I said, it's been tested by themselves, and they have their own certification process before they can be installed at their data centers. This is the highest level of security. Okay. In a detailed environment, I mentioned this is for the fruit farm. This is you can see we installed this device with our partner. Okay. What happened is that there's a lot of people, and as you know, fruit farm is very seasonal. People come and goes, and very difficult to track and whatnot. Okay, and of course, they work in this kind of farms. They're wearing protective equipment, glove, and their hands are not good to be used with fingerprints technology. Okay, so eventually they choose iris, but they're very happy, and they're implementing it in many of their setups. Okay, this is in Dangote cement factories. Okay, as you know, working in cement factories, the hazard with the cements and also the dusty environment and whatnot. And Dangote currently is very happy with our solution and implementing in each of their subsidiaries around Africa. They are a very huge company in Africa. So they are now putting all these iris devices at their sites. And we also use our solution for the tracking of the drivers. Okay, next we have our Schiphol Airport. This is what we call Premium. Premium is a frequent traveler program or VIP traveler program with Schiphol. Okay, you can see the video. In the video, we show you this is our. They have been using actually our iris device for a long time, but this is the latest iteration of the system where they decided to upgrade it. Okay, and we are using our D100. This is an auto gate solution. Okay, and this is the video of how you use this auto gate. This is the members only auto gate for preview. Okay. And this is how exactly the camera move by itself. It will detect your height. Okay. This one is from CERN. If you know, CERN is where they did all this testing to find that matter, the one they're using the Large Hadron Collider, you know. So this is where you go and access this underground facilities. You know, location is in the Alps mountain between France and New Zealand. Switzerland, New Zealand. Okay, and this is deployed at all the underground shaft, you know, to access these huge facilities. You know where they have the big, you know, 27 kilometer circular, you know, collider. You know. So it's huge, and it's underground. Okay. Next one. Okay. This is where you can use it and at the health club or gyms. Okay, this one in the gym, you know, it's the access control through the turnstile at the gym. Okay, or this is where they put it in the health club and all this. The reason why I show this also because as you know, due to COVID-19, okay, we have many kind of installation, but for this purpose of highlighting the importance of this in COVID-19, you know that this is a big issue because we are talking about the gym where you know, a lot of chances of you know, spreading the virus. So this is one way to reduce it. Okay, they don't touch anything to enter. And also because health club also is the same situation. They're very concerned about touching anything. Okay, so another very interesting solution we did is for Clear. It's a registered traveler and digital identity program in the US. Now we have more than 4 million members. Okay, so this is the one of the latest video during COVID-19. So people are already wearing masks everywhere. Okay, and this is the kiosk that they set up for you to access the Clear. So Clear solution will give you fast access to for your travel, to the airport and everything is like pre-clearance for you. Okay, so these kiosks are installed in many airports in the USA, and you can, if you are a member of Clear, you have a very speedy process during your travel, because you are pre-cleared, and you don't need to queue as a normal people. Okay, so this is a very high throughput, and also, as you know, need a very what you call it, important or very essential solution. See, the guy is cleaning it, about contactless is very essential in this kind of solution, because there are so many people touching the device. So this is a very successful program in the US. Okay, yeah, because we don't have much time. In summary, what I can say here today, iris recognition is clearly superior to other contactless biometric technology in many situations. And for RSID, we are confident that we will provide you the best solution for contactless biometric in the era of COVID-19. Just because, like I mentioned, we are very experienced in this iris recognition solution. We have the widest selection of product and solution. We are trusted by some of the very biggest name in the world. Okay, and we have a proven success and track record. Okay, the other thing is we have a continuous R&D. We are coming out with products, new products that will enhance the user experience, and also we will have a new competitive price point to offer iris recognition. Okay, so after this we will have the demo of our new device, IT100, or what we call the iris time package. I will pass this to, I will do just a short introduction of it, and then the demo will be done by my colleague, Mr. Stephen in Korea. Okay. Before that, I'll just see if there's any question. Okay. Ansari questions, bright light scenario. Of course, lighting is also an important factor in any kind of image taking acquisition. Okay. So bright light can affect the iris recognition acquisition. Okay. Sorry, careful. Where's this question? How about number of people? Okay, the device will only scan one person at a time. Okay, we don't scan everybody in the skin. So to use the device also is available to use it one person at a time. Okay, we don't scan the whole crowd, and for this. Okay, technically there are many reasons for that. Okay, won't be able. If you have a specific question requirement for this, we will be happy to answer you in details. Okay, but our device at this point, this will only work with one person at a time. Question from Lim, cataract. Yes, cataract will affect the iris if the cataract goes over the iris part. Okay, some cataracts doesn't cover the iris. So if anything that covers the iris part, will affect the performance of the iris. So, but if it's a small part and everything, it's good enough data to be read, it should pass. It should be usable. But there's no guarantees on that. If there is anything that covers that iris part. Okay, we can answer other questions later. After this, I just want to move to the our iris time presentation. Okay. before we switch to the demo with live demo with Steven, okay, just to introduce this device. This is our new latest device. We will go do a proper launching of it very soon. But some of our partners, maybe some of you here also, I have presented it before. I think you can also find a bit of information of it in our website, but we will do a proper launching of it very soon. Okay, but this is a new device that we have designed from scratch to what you call it, become what we call a time clock for the modern workforce. Okay, it comes with a new device and a new time attendance solution. Okay. And it also is designed with integration in mind. We will explain a little bit about it later. Okay, it's using Android platform, and this is basically a 7-inch LCD touchscreen device. You can see that is yeah. We will show you the real size of the device later. Okay, and what the most important part of it is that this is a fully customizable and it comes with application development package. Okay, so you can use the device itself out of the box, or you can decide to integrate it with your own solution. We will explain it later, and if you really interested in this product, we will talk to you, each one of you in details, because this is a very interesting program that you can get involved with the IT100. Okay, so this device have all the features. Okay, and it also employs a combination of iris and facial recognition technology. Okay, one is of the most important fact about this device, that this is going to be the device that's going to beat all those other facial recognition device out there. Okay, because it's combined. It can use facial recognition, but of course, our main function is the iris recognition, and you know, iris recognition is much better than facial recognition. And then the price point, okay, is targeted to really compete with those facial recognition device out there. Okay. The acquisition distance, we will show you this later, is up to 2 feet, 24 inches. And this device have an auto tilt functionalities where you can capture up to 30 degrees difference in height. Okay, and of course it comes with all the security function with our own countermeasures where we will detect fake eyes and also the encryption. Okay. We'll do the demo later, but it comes also with, it can be used with our ITMS iris time management services, which is a browser-based application. We will show you later, that manage these devices using REST API. Okay, and we can use this to control devices on the network. Okay, and this ITMS can be integrated into any custom application using REST API. Okay. So next, after this, we will show you the ITMS iris time management service overview dashboard. This is what you can see in your web browser once you initiate the ITMS. Okay. Okay, so we are already actually almost 2 hours in the webinar. Okay, is there any other question? I know there's a question from Hanif there. I will discuss with him later on that on the development part. But anyway, is there any more questions that you guys need us to answer in this webinar now? Or if you know, you can contact us at any time or go to our website. We will make this video, presentation available to you, the recording of it, and we will provide you any kind of information if you want, in specific or in particular for all the device. Okay, please feel free to contact us at any time for this. I hope I already answered all the questions. Is there anything else that you guys want me to address at this point of time? Thank you, everybody, for your attention and your attendance today in our webinar. I really appreciate that. We hope to be able to see you guys soon, and we hope you guys have already enjoyed this presentation and gain valuable knowledge from it. We really appreciate your support all this time to Rsid, and really hope to work with all you guys in the future. Okay, so with all that, I thank you, everybody. We will close this webinar, and we'll send you the link for the recordings. Thank you all. Have a nice day.